Welcome to the Relationship Goals podcast.
It's me, BJ.
And it's me, Melly.
And we're your co-host.
Coming at you with another episode, number 7. Whether you guys are listening on YouTube or Spotify, I want you guys to take a pause and subscribe, follow, turn on your notifications, like the video, comment down below, and rate the podcast. Give us 5 stars.
And if you don't think it's 5 stars, then just forget what Melly said and just keep listening.
Yeah, I think we've had enough episodes for you guys to judge whether or not we deserve that 5 stars now. So if you do think we're 5 stars, go give us some ratings. And we actually do have ratings already. I'm surprised. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Take some time to do that. I'll add some music here while you go ahead.
Some calming elevator music.
It's a new month, and for me, that means new goals for reading. I always try to read a couple books a month.
Don't you have a book club meeting?
Yeah, we have a book club meeting. We also read a book or 2 every month.
I think that's kind of cool, to do something like that.
Yeah, it all started when we were at our friend's bachelorette trip, and we just started talking about a book. And when we were talking about the book, we were all getting very intense in the conversation. And then it sparked the idea of starting a book club, and then now we just meet every month. We read a book and we talk about it. So if you're on TikTok, there's a thing called Book Talk. And if you're on it, start learning the lingo, and then you start seeing all these books that you add to your TBR, which is your to be read. I have a Goodreads, and that's where I keep track of all my books I've read. I'm kind of shocked at how many books I've read. Sometimes I listen to audiobooks and sometimes I read them. I don't really like to read books, but sometimes I have no choice because I would just lay down all day and read. I wouldn't be productive. And for me, once I'm into a book, I can't stop reading it. So that's why I prefer audiobooks, because at least then I can listen and do other things like clean the house, do laundry, get ready. So people may think that audiobooks are not reading, but it is. I'm getting the same information. I'm just listening. Someone's reading aloud to me. Hot topic.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you're considering reading, right? If it's the physical act of reading, then obviously an audiobook, it's its own way of getting the material from the book. But I think in the grand scheme of things, I think it's the same. If I was in your book club, I think I would just listen to everything because I would not be able to have time to read an actual book, but I could listen to something and get all the information from there.
And sometimes the audiobooks really throw me off if I don't like their voice, especially when it's a male narrator and he's also doing the female narrator.
That's probably the only thing with audiobooks is the narrator of the books that you've read. I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. That's also why I like watching animes in Japanese, because I think English dubbed, people who are trying to voice act for anime characters, does not match as good as the actual Japanese voice actors. So
I watch the English dubbed and I have no problem with it, but to each their own.
Melissa, when she would be reading her books, when I was trying to go to sleep, and then she'd be, oh my God, I can't believe he did this, or blah, 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 something like that.
Yeah, I try to tell him the synopsis of each book after I read it, and he has no idea what I'm talking about. He just lets me talk. And yeah, book club is fun. I really like reading all these books, and book club just helps you expand your genre too. I chose a fantasy book, which we don't really read fantasy. So I haven't read it yet, but that will be interesting. And I do have a friend who joined book club, read one of the books that we chose, and she said she would have never have chosen that, and she really liked it. So, it just kind of lets you hang out with people, talk about books.
Kind of what I said in the last episode, it's really important to have these types of human interactions. So things like book club, or just other things guys, we do fantasy football, just to be able to hang out with people that you care about and talk about a topic of interest that you all like. And then, even the debates and things oh, I like this person or that person, or they should be together. I think those are enjoyable too.
We also like to talk about the books turning into movies.
Yeah, Melissa's crazy about the fan cast. Oh my God, this person would totally be this. No, I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's something I like to do. I like to look up who would be the best choice for that book, just so I can imagine them as that character while I'm reading. And yeah, last month I think I read around 8 books. So this month, hopefully I read just as many or more. So we have book club. Let's see how many books I read this month.
Over under 7.
If you know us well, you know that we love our zodiac signs. We know not everyone believes in them. We know that some people don't really like astrology, and that's fine. But we also believe in love languages. And for that, I think everyone should understand each other's love languages.
Yeah, you should understand yours specifically, your significant others, and even like family members too. Knowing like your family members' own could
All
help.
your relationships.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it's really important because if you understand how you want love and how to give love to someone, it would really help your relationship every day.
Yeah, there is a dynamic and depth to the connection you can build if you know how to utilize love languages properly. Just because you do something for someone doesn't inherently mean it's matching their love language. So you could be someone thinking, man, I'm doing all of this for her, gifts, trips, and I'm not getting anything reciprocated. But in reality, you're doing the complete opposite of what your SO's love language is.
Disclaimer, we're not experts on love languages.
Yeah, this is just our like personal interpretation of it, and then just telling you guys how we utilize it for ourselves.
If you guys don't know what the love languages are, there's words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and receiving gifts.
Yeah, so in order to find your love language, you can just go online and find a website, right, Melly?
Yeah, just Google what's my love language. There's a quiz and answer honestly, obviously, so then you can get the most accurate result. It will give you percentages of what is your highest. And like for me, I have a tie between two and then a really low percentage on one. So we'll have a link so you guys can figure out what your love language is.
So my top love language is words of affirmation, which means I enjoy, praise from others. I enjoy compliments, and what I really, really enjoy is gratitude from others whenever I can do something to help someone out.
And not to bring zodiac signs in, as a Leo, he loves to get his boost of confidence. Boosted ego.
Man, I'm always confident.
Boosted ego. Leos love compliments. And as a Capricorn, we're always
doing everything, doing the most. Type A, plan everything out, itinerary. This is what we're doing. 10 a.m. This is what we're doing at 10:02 a.m.
I like acts of service, obviously, because I like to be helped. I like it when people make my life easier. So acts of service is mine.
It's really cool because me and Melly actually balance each other out when it comes to our top love languages.
So he does a lot of acts of service for me. I don't really like going out in the world, and he likes going to the store. So he does all the grocery shopping. He usually cooks me food
before I go to work. It's part of my morning routine. So I cook her food, and then she tells me like, oh my God, this food is the best food I've ever ate in my life. Just like yesterday was the best food. And then the day before.
And I say thank you. So that's all BJ needs.
Yeah, all I need is thanks, because
his words of affirmation.
Yeah. And then I just like doing those things for Melly because it's easy for me. Like when we're upstairs and she needs a drink, it's easy for me to go downstairs, get my steps in, and make her a drink so she can stay up all bundled up in the bed with Flash.
And it's easy for me to be like, thank you so much.
Yeah, sometimes she does forget.
No, I don't. Okay, so that's
it's her being the youngest. It's okay.
I don't forget. He just doesn't hear me sometimes. I always remember when I say thank you too, because I like to use it as ammo, because I'm like, I did say it. I said it right here at the spot at this time.
Fun fact about Melly, she can remember things in the past by what she wore.
Yeah, that's true. But
she's like, I was wearing this when I said thank you to you. It was this shirt and it had this stain on it. And then
that's another thing. If you don't know the other person's love language and you are showing them a different love language than what they want, it could be an issue.
It's like putting a square piece into a circle hole.
For example, if we're fighting and I'm trying to hug BJ because I'm like, I don't want to fight anymore, hugging him. He doesn't want to be hugged. He's not a physical touch person. He wants words of affirmation. He wants me to say, I'm sorry. I appreciate you. Thank you. And that will be it.
That helps. And if Melly's mad at me, I have to, he has
to clean the whole house.
Yeah, clean the whole house. I'll take Flash out and then throw in a little bit of receiving gifts, because the good old chocolate always helps.
Receiving gifts is my lowest, actually.
It only works in those situations. Well, it's the act of going to get the chocolate and giving it to you. So it's not the gift, it's the act that I went out of my way to go get the chocolate.
I guess so.
Yeah, and then the service of giving it to you. So the chocolate is just a medium that's there, or yeah, thing that's there in that acts of service.
So if I'm doing errands and BJ's with me and he's complaining the whole time, I will get irritated because that is my love language. It's acts of service. If you're going to complain doing the act of service, I'm going to get mad. And if I don't say thank you, BJ's going to get mad. So it's just like, understanding each other's love languages really helps. So let's break down all of the love languages. So going back to acts of service, like helping with chores, sharing responsibilities, doing unexpected and helpful tasks. And then things that you don't want to do is like, you don't want to say you're going to do something and not do it. You don't want to not help out or create more work for that other person.
Yeah, like what Melly was saying, if I told her that I would help her with something, I can't complain about helping her if I'm the one who initiated this acts of service.
Yeah, and if he says, I'm going to take out the trash and he doesn't, I'm going to go crazy.
So words of affirmation, the ways to provide words of affirmation, compliments, kind words, thank yous. They could be written too. I don't really care about written ones, but I know people who like getting letters written to them or like little note cards. Like
I thought you liked my little random
only
letters.
from you, but I'm saying like my coworker was like, thanks man. I'm like, okay, cool. No, actually those are nice. Never mind.
You do like them. You just don't do them often because we all text now.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I do like them. Thank you, coworkers.
One time I texted BJ this random text message and just it was like a paragraph or something. It was so little too. It was like 20 seconds of my life. And he responded, he hearted it. He's like, this just made my whole day. And I was like, this words of affirmation guy.
But I do appreciate those words from Melly. It means the most. And then things to avoid is criticism, unkind words. And main thing for me is like not acknowledging someone's hard work or efforts to do something. It's a real pet peeve of mine.
Sometimes I do provide criticism because I like a good criticism. So it could be a little difficult for me to try not to be mean. I'm just a very blunt person.
Blunt force trauma.
And then there's quality time, which is, I believe, both of our second tiers. Quality time and words of affirmation are tied for me. For BJ, yeah, it's second.
It's probably second, yeah, because I don't really need acts of service.
Yeah, for BJ, it's second.
I'm
okay.
self-sufficient.
So that's when you're like spending time together. Obviously, you're paying attention to them. You're actively listening, doing activities together.
Like a podcast.
Yeah, spending quality time. This is our quality time.
It is. It's QT with a QD.
Things you don't want to do is like, not taking the time to spend time with them when you're busy or you're distracted while you're together, just not really paying attention.
Like, guys, so quality time isn't being with your girl and then looking at your phone to...
You do that.
I know, would like work, but also looking at the game, pay attention to her. Look her in the eyes. Create those memories together.
Do something that's quality time too, because just because one person likes doing the activity and the other person doesn't, it's not really quality time, is it?
Yeah, so maybe talking, communicating together to find a activity that you can both do and enjoy the full aspect of it instead of just, yeah, okay, let's do this, but in reality you don't want to do it, so being honest with that, so at least the time you do spend together is impactful. Next up is physical touch. So right now I'm physically touching Melly. We are shoulder to shoulder
because we share a mic. So we have to be this close.
Physical touch is what it is. It's holding hands, giving affectionate hugs, intimacy, things like that.
Like you could just be like sitting down next to the person and your legs could be touching and that would be enough.
You'd be lying your head on their shoulder while speaking into the mic because you have to share one mic, like what I'm doing right now.
You could be holding hands while you walk. It's just touching each other.
Yeah, you could be holding hands while you're driving. No one's holding the wheel. You have a Tesla and it's driving itself. Things you don't want to do is obviously not physically touching them, not having any actual physical intimacy. Physical touch is the most straightforward, to be honest.
That's got to be hard if you're long distance. Yeah. How do you touch each other? If you guys are long distance and you're physical touch, let me know.
Yeah. What are your tips and tricks for that? Because I'd like to learn and understand that.
Oh, you want to be long distance?
Nope. Who am I going to cook for?
And then last is receiving gifts. So obviously thoughtful gifts and gestures. Like if you give them a nice surprise.
Really quick, babe. This is both are on like last tier for me and Melly.
Yeah.
So we just don't give each other gifts.
No.
Just joking.
We don't. I honestly rather have like an experience than a physical item, because if I wanted a physical item, I would just buy it. You know?
Amazon.
Not my storefront for all my Amazon finds.
Mm-hmm. That's an acts of service for Melly.
Yeah, it would be helping me out.
Yeah.
Like thoughtful gifts, like getting someone flowers if they're having a bad day, or surprising them with something they said they wanted to buy.
Or even like if you're a creative person, making something for someone is really cool. I've seen that.
And then things to avoid is like meaningless or generic gifts, or forgetting gifts for special occasions. So if it's like their anniversary,
forgetting their birthday
and not getting them a gift, ooh,
rough.
You don't want to do that. Those are the different ones, and that's basically what they're looking for and what you shouldn't do with them. And again, why we think that's important is because it will help your relationship be better if you just understood each other and communicate. This is my love language. What's your love language? I always ask people, what's your love language?
Yeah, and a lot of it too, it doesn't have to just be with your significant other. You can figure out this with like family members. But like my brother, his main one is like quality time. Well, I'm in the States and he's in Korea. Just whenever he calls and I can answer, just being able to hang out with him through that, I know means a lot to him, but it also means a lot to me too. So every little bit counts, you know?
And if you just apply this to your life, I feel like it will really improve your relationships with others.
Yeah. And it's just fun to do that in general, especially with people you care about. It's new and different ways you can add to your relationship and just be able to grow from there even more so.
And yeah, whatever your love language is, that's also usually how you express love too. It's just what you naturally do. Like BJ always is my number one hype person. He always sends me words of affirmation, telling me encouraging words or saying nice compliments to me. He's always hyping me up.
And for Melly is a person that does the most for people she loves. You need something for your baby shower, man, she got everything for you, you know, and she goes out of her way to help the best she can. And with her talents and many things, she makes awesome graphics, videos. If she has vendors that she can give to you or show you, she'll do that too. Yeah, but Melly is exactly that. She shows love through the acts she provides for the people she cares about.
BJ likes to hype people up. If you ever got a birthday greeting from BJ, you know it's not just happy birthday. It's happy birthday and what you mean to him.
Yeah, I enjoy just seeing people succeed and giving them praise for that. At my job, I love when people are on a journey, like a fitness journey, and I see the improvement and I'm like, dang, really good job. And then they're like, man, thank you for everything you do. See, so it's a give, or it's a give. Yeah, it's a give. They take my words of affirmation and they provide me words of affirmation, and it makes us both feel good.
So let us know, what's your love language? Comment down below. Let us know.
I'd like to read something that I created for this podcast topic. I'm not really the most creative mind when it comes to things like this. I'm more kind of like science, logic based, but I do enjoy a good haiku. Ever since I was a young lad, that was the only form of poetry that I actually did really good in back in school, and it still stuck. So recently, maybe was it like last year? Let's just say it was starting last year. I started just to send Melissa haikus, and so this is my haiku for this episode. Love language is key. A deeper understanding between you and me. Thank you. Tune in every podcast to see if I drop one of these bangers. You never know. So another incentive for you to listen to us. See the poetic side of BJ Malimban. Thank you for listening to us today. You can find more on our social media platforms at Relationship Goals Podcast.
Again, if you haven't done so already, stop, drop, and rate the podcast.
5 stars.
And if not, then don't rate it.
Yeah, just
give us feedback separately.
Yeah. Let us know we can do better.
You can tell me the criticism. Don't tell BJ.
You can tell me. I'm not gonna be mad.
Thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Yeah, we really appreciate you awesome, hardworking, smart fans.
The words of affirmation. And if you guys need help, no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. If you guys need help, you know where I'm at.
Later, Gator.
And roll the outro music.